After Jin chose the Borosada, the selection ceremony came to an end, leaving everyone in the family shocked, including the patriarch, Jin's father. The tension in the air was palpable, akin to a medieval courtroom drama, with all eyes fixed on Jin as he made his momentous decision. With the selection ceremony behind them, Jin was promptly escorted to Storm Castle, a fortress that seemed to exist in a perpetual state of tempestuous turmoil. The castle's name was apt, considering the constant thunderstorm that raged outside its walls. It was as if the weather gods had taken up residence in the castle's backyard, staging a never-ending performance of nature's fury. Inside the castle, Jin tries to reach for a book, but is too short to do so without support. Therefore, he brings a chair to give him extra height, enabling him to reach the book. According to the family's rules, Jin has to stay locked in Storm Castle until he's 10 years old, which means he has 3 more years left, which bores him. All of a sudden, he hears a scream coming from outside from a maid coming to check on him. He asks what's wrong, and the maid replies, "Young master, there's a dead bird in your room." This is an uncommon occurrence in the castle, and the only ones who would do this are his brothers. As Jin is looking at the bird, his 2 brothers walk in, as they emphasize with the bird in a sarcastic way. Daytona, the 11th son of the Runcandel, who is 9 years old, clenches his teeth and exclaims that it's too bad the maid found the bird first. While Haytona, the 12th son of the Runcandel, who is also 9 years old, confirms that they were the ones who put the dead bird there for Jin to see. Both brothers ask Jin if he likes the gift they gave him, and if he was moved to tears. But Jin remains silent, with no emotions on his face, holding the dead bird in his hand, covered in a cloth. Jin knows that these 2 brothers, in his previous life, became murderers once they became flag bearers. But they just turned 9 and killed an innocent bird just to torment him. Both brothers, satisfied with what just happened, laugh dramatically, and Haytona remarks for Jin not to cry, as that would be annoying. Jin not responding to them makes them wonder if he could hear them, and they ask sarcastically if the great man who's chosen the destiny of the patriarch doesn't even acknowledge the likes of them. They continue, saying where he had left his Borosada. The MC mumbles his words, which makes Haytona creep in closer and ask Jin to clarify what he had just said. Without hesitation, Haytona grabs Jin's shoulders and tries to punch Jin while stating, "I'm sorry. I could not hear what you just said because you were so quiet." But before he could continue, Jin catches his punch with his palm, which scares Haytona. While holding Haytona's fist in his hand, the MC emits a black aura and coldly repeats, "Shut the hell up." The MC punches Haytona on the chin with an uppercut, which sends his jaws flying to the other side of the room. He tries to come back to attack Jin again, but gets shut down with a punch to his head and another straight to his face. The MC bared with all the trouble that his twin older brothers had caused him, but he had enough of their bullshit, as he won't be tolerating any more of their stupid tricks to get him riled up. With this, the MC prepares an uppercut, and while finishing off his sentence punches Haytona in the stomach, making him grovel in pain. The MC, satisfied, states that from now on, it'd be in their best interest to stay out of his sight as much as possible. A man with a red robe and long hair walks in on the brothers' quarrel and states to the MC, "What's going on here, young master?" Jin mumbles the servant's name Khan as he stops his black aura from covering his hands. Khan, surprised and shocked by what he had seen, asks Jin what had happened to the 2 brothers, to which the MC replies that they just started fighting. Wanting clarification, Khan holds Haytona in his hands and asks the MC to repeat what he had just said. Jin, with a cold stare, asks if he didn't hear what he just said and repeats that he said they started to fight all of a sudden and collapsed. The servant, expecting nothing less, is still surprised that even a child of the Runcandel is fierce. Kon picks both brothers up and states that he understands what had happened and wanted to take the brothers to the doctor, but is rejected by the MC, who states that there's somewhere that both his brothers need to go and asks Kon to follow him. They go outside the castle, which is pouring in rain, and Jin makes a dome of mud with a cross on it next to the two brothers who had been laid under a tree. Kon asks Jin if he is going to just leave them there as the rainstorm will be getting stronger soon. To that, the MC, with a cold and merciless tone, replies that they need to be made aware of just what they've done. Accepting what was told to him, Kon follows the MC's orders and leaves the brothers there. As they head back toward the castle, Kon is surprised to see that the force he felt while Jin gave him that order was definitely not aura, and it can't be mana. And if that is the case, then this matter isn't just a scuffle between brothers. Kon, thinking this is a crucial matter that needs to be reported to the Patriarch, asks a servant to bring him a horse. Jin, looking out the window as he watches Kon take his leave with the horse, confirms that he knew Kon would head off to report to his father. Though Kon is the guardian knight, he's also an observer. Since that must have looked like magic in Kon's eyes, Jin is sure Kon couldn't just leave that be. The proof of Jin's contract with Soldered is his shadow energy. And thanks to that power, Jin found out that his contract with Soldered is still valid even in this life. And thanks to his curse immunity, which is a perk of being Soldered's contractor, Jin was able to avoid bladed illusion. The dunce of the Runcandel, Jin Runcandel, no longer exists, as from now on many things will differ from his previous life. What's left now for Jin is for him to meet the Patriarch, his father. The scene changes, and we see Kon bowing down and finishing his summary of what he had seen in Storm Castle. The Patriarch, listening to this, states with a bit of shock that the youngest had beaten the Toner twins. With a cold voice, the Patriarch calls out to Kon and tells him to assemble the flag bearers, as he will have to go and see the youngest, Jin Runcandel, himself. As all the flag bearers get together, one of them states that all 7 of the flag bearers of Runcandel and the 200 knights under them have been assembled while bowing to the Patriarch. With this, the Patriarch is satisfied and starts to march with the 7 flag bearers and their knights to Storm Castle.